Okay, hi, welcome back. So this is another example is factoring quadratic expression when the leading coefficient is not 1. Basically, a is not equal to 1. So what am I referring to? Um, a. A represents the number in front of x squared. As mathematician, we call the number in front of x squared the variable of the highest exponent, the leading coefficient. Okay, so the leading coefficient here is not anymore 1, it's 5. Okay, so let's do this by the same principle then that I've shown you before, right? Um, so the first step here is to make sure that the quadratic expression is written in standard form, which is, this one is already written in standard form. You have ax squared plus bx plus c. A is 5, b is negative 16, and c is 3. Okay, so let me rewrite that below. So it's already written in standard form. Okay, I just want to rewrite because the x here is kind of weird. Okay, so now, do you see a common factor? Alert, alert, alert. Okay, we cannot factor out 5. Why? 16 is not divisible by 5, as well as 3 is not divisible by 5. So you want to leave, there's no number to pull out. Okay, as I've shown you in my previous video. Okay, there's no common factor. Okay, so what do we do? So you follow the same principle I've shown you. You want to find two numbers that add 2, and the two same number multiply 2. So please pause it. I'm going to pause the video and answer those questions, okay? So I hope you're able to find those two numbers, okay? So those two numbers that multiply to 15 and add to negative 16. So remember, it cannot be 3 anymore. Why? Because the a here is not 1 anymore. The a here is 5. So you do a times c. 5 times 3 is 15. So always find the two numbers using the factor, the number for a times c, never with the sum. Always use the a times c number. So what are the two factors of 15? So 15, I'm thinking about 3 and 5. But because the sum needs to be negative, the sum is negative means both of them must be negative. But when I add my negative 3 and negative 5 together, I get negative 8. But I want negative 16. It doesn't work. It does not work. So I have to come up with another number, another set. So I'm thinking about, let me use 1 and 15. Okay, because the sum needs to be negative. The sum is negative. I know that both numbers must be, but the product is positive. So both numbers must be negative. Why? Negative times a negative is a positive. So when I add them, okay, I get negative 16, check. So it works. So the two new number that I need is going to be the number, okay, well, negative 15. Oh, sorry, negative 15 or negative 1 and negative 15. Okay, so we found the two numbers that you're going to use to replace our middle terms. So now for the next step, can you rewrite the quadratic expression by replacing the middle term with the two new found numbers? Okay, okay, that's it. Okay, so now alert, alert, alert. The C here is not 15. The C, the constant is positive 3. So make sure you don't write 15 here because 15 represents the number A times C. Okay, and the reason why you do A times C is just because I wish there's better explanation than, okay, it just works, okay? So I still have not figured out why it works, but I will keep that as food for thought, okay? But it works. You only do A times C to find the factors, okay? The next method is to do the boxing to factor by using the box method or by grouping. So go ahead and either do the box method or by grouping. Okay, I've done the box method, okay, and those are my answers. Okay, so the reason why I factor out, so the first row I factor out x, and below I factor out negative 3. Why? Because negative 3 is divisible by 3 and negative 15, okay, 15x. And for the column, I factor out 5x, okay. I couldn't write just x. I cannot use just x, y, because x times x is x squared, and I want 5x squared. So you see that negative 15x and 5x squared are both divisible by 5x, okay? And the reason, what you need to pay attention is alert, like I say, alert, alert, alert. Okay, those two terms can never be, the term with the x can never be negatives. only the number can be negatives, okay? So I made a mistake here, so I just realized that, okay, why? Let's check our work. X and 5x is 5x squared. X and -3 is not -3. It's -3x, but I have -1x. So what is the greatest common factor? Okay, the number that both numbers are divisible by. It's not going to be 3, it has to be 1. Okay, or -1, since we have. So let's multiply again. So x times -1 is -1x. -3 times -1 is +3. So we have the factor form is x minus 3 times 5x minus 1. Okay, so next let's try to do the box method, the grouping method on the right. Okay, try to see if you can do the grouping method too. Okay, pause the video and do the grouping method. So when I do the grouping, I'm going to group the left two terms together. And this is -15x, so I have to make sure the -15x is inside the parentheses, but you're still adding, okay? You're not factoring yet. So the next phase is to, okay, identify the common factor, the number that both terms are divisible by. So we see here, so both numbers are divisible by, not by 5, because you don't have 5 right here, okay? So it's going to be x only. So I have then 5x, okay, minus 1. Okay, so now plus, so the next, what is the common factor here? The number that each term is divisible by. So it has to be 3, I can see 3, okay? But because I have a negative here, and I told you the number with the x, the term with x can never be negative. So I'm going to pull out -3. This is a factor. So then you get 5x minus 1. So let's check. -3 times 5x is -15x. -3 times -1 is +3. Check, check. So what you do by grouping, you have to make sure that both so the factor on the left must match with the factor on the right. Factor I'm referring to when you multiply, when the operation between two terms is multiplication, we call each term factor. So this is a factor, x is a factor, 5x minus 1 is a factor, -3 is a factor, and 5x minus 1 is also a factor. So again, you're going to pull out the common factor, factor it out. So you end up with 5x minus 1 times, and what are you going to write inside the second factor? So again, the leftover. What are the leftover terms? It's x and -3. So let's write out, so x minus 3. And it match. So it must match because both ways should end up with the same result. Okay. So remember, I say multiplication is commutative. So the like I said, like if you have, let's say 3 times 2 is 6, the same as 2 times 3 is also 6. So it doesn't matter the order when you multiply. So the factor doesn't matter the order because multiplication is commutative. Okay, whatever the order for the product of the factor of 6, whatever the order, always come out at 6. Okay, so we are done. I hope my videos was beneficial to you. Okay, so thank you for listening to me. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.